PvP tutorials have been essential for the exponential improvement of players, with several varying from how to click to even optimizing settings. So in this video, I will be making the most detailed tutorial on PvP. Once you finish watching, you will never need another PvP tutorial again. Let's begin. When it comes to the basics, this includes your clicking method. If you are jitter clicking, I'd recommend a low sense to prevent your aim from being choppy. My sense is 14 with a DPI of 800. This allows my aim to be pretty consistent when it comes to tracking my opponent. If you're butterfly clicking, I'd recommend a pretty high sense, such as 17 cents with 1000 DPI, as butterfly clicking doesn't restrict the movement of your mouse as much as jitter clicking does. For the video settings, I'd recommend max FOV altered off. My reasoning for this is that when you play, you don't want your aim to be thrown off by your screen shaking every time you sprint. And the reason for the max FOV is simply to see what's around you, as you already have a low FOV when it comes to altered off. Another thing I'd recommend is to get used to hotkeying. Hotkeys are when you assign your slots a letter keybind to make sure that they're easier to reach. If you do this, you'll be much more consistent in switching slots, which is important for the next segment. In a majority of games, I've seen several players not using their resources such as blocks and projectiles. These are essential for starting combos. A pattern I've learned when using blocks is to place blocks like this and form a head hitter, which will fully negate your KB, resulting in a pretty easy combo as shown in this clip. As for projectiles, you should use snowballs when you are roughly 2 blocks away from your opponent, and the timing with the bow should be 3 to 4 blocks. Typically, you should press S when you just finished a trade with your opponent to create the 3 to 4 block distance, which will further optimize the chances of you actually pulling off a combo. The term reducing refers to trying to negate as much knockback as possible. This can be done via jump resetting. As you can see, this top player Zaloran hit several in a row and moved less than the average Reddit user. To perform jump resets to their best capability, you should jump on the second hit of the trade, and then on the third. If you haven't gotten a combo on the third hit, repeat these steps. As you can see, I mimic these steps and end up picking up my opponent, resulting in them losing the trade. Another thing that you can do is this cool trick called hit selecting, where you strafe to the side of your opponent and let them hit you. Note that this should be unpredictable when doing this. One thing that I've found is that hit selecting seems to work best against people who are on 100 MS or higher. Another thing that you can do, which I forgot to mention in the basics, is this clicking method called time hitting, where you start butterfly clicking and stop. This ensures that you make the most of your hit reg, and from my experience picks up a majority of players if they aren't drag clicking. I'm sure that whenever you played Skywars, you felt as if a person was unreasonably tanky when they had full diamond armor. This is because on the Hive, whenever you have full diamond armor, you take half a heart of damage, no matter the sword used against you. But what if I told you Hive's damage reduction doesn't just apply to full diamond armor? In fact, every piece of armor has their own unique form of damage reduction. Let's look at some splits. All the following combinations take the same damage no matter what sword an opponent has, unless they have a sharp 1 dia sword. Then only full diamond armor negates that. All the following splits here take the same damage from everything but diamond swords. And lastly, these following splits only take the same damage from stone swords. From testing with a friend, this is how many hits each split takes before death. Knowing this information can be pretty valuable when taking any fight in any game mode on the Hive. You may be wondering where you could possibly be able to practice these skills. Don't worry, I got you covered. To practice block usage and projectiles, I'd recommend joining a Discord server called Snowfall and Skywars 1v1ing people on that server. A Skywars 1v1 is pretty simple. You collect all the essential items from your starting island, such as snowballs, bows, arrows, pearls, and blocks. Then you move to mid, where you collect 3 ender chests and 1 normal chest from mid. Afterwards, you want to go to a separate island and loot like you did in your starting island. Then you should aim to get max redstone, full diamond armor, and then you start fighting. To practice raw PvP, you can join these 2 servers. You can use this preset called mid fights, where both you and your opponent buys a sword and full diamond armor, with 32 blocks to get to mid. Then you throw away the blocks and proceed to fight your opponent. If you win, you should void to get full health. Let's say you want to practice both usage of blocks and raw PvP. Then you can use this preset called Scrimprack, where when the game starts, you buy blocks and a sword. If you lose, you have to stay at base as you are getting stalled. If you win, you stall your opponent, trying to live as long as possible at their base. At 23, you can buy chain armor and block. Note that if your opponent is okay with it, you can buy a bow at 23 as well. As the game progresses, at 20 you can buy iron armor, and at 15 you buy diamond armor. Pretty simple. Let's say you don't want to go on Discord servers or custom servers. Well, then you can go on these servers to practice as well. Zekwa's better game modes, in my opinion, are boxing and bed fight. And for Divinity, you can simply play Skywars FFA and Midfighter FFA. And remember, if these steps haven't helped you, just toggle reach and timer and become the next Jakaido.